moment.
You the stream.
There we go. Sorry about that, folks. We had some technical difficulties. Seems every week we lose connection at least once for some reason.
I
Now.
swear we have a hater who's a hacker.
Anyway. So. Jack appears out of nowhere behind Aiden. That's where we were. Please continue.
I don't know, Miguel, if it catch like a bit of dialogue.
Just a little, but it was about enough to have introductions in Little Elf.
Yeah. Give me a second. So yeah. It is quite interesting how the body tries to keep up the losing fight.
Or is it the mind that's too stubborn to die?
Might as well be. But yeah, what do you reckon? How long does he have?
I, quite honestly, have no idea. I am not versed in the medical field in any way. Days, a week.
That seems reasonable. But would it be worth saving him if he, in case he had more time, he'd do some greatness to this world?
If he has some quality worth us using, perhaps. He's got nothing for us to use. It would be pointless.
So, deliver the sentence. Does he stay here to die? Do we expedite the process?
Either or.
Not intruding is more preferable, but if
If
you
we
don't
think
really
about the
have a
energy
choice,
costs of keeping him alive, solely based on that, he should die.
that is, in a way, true. But what lesson would you gain if you strangle him, pull the plug out? Have you seen men die like this?
No.
I'd be able to do what Vikas did. To like,
Yeah.
I might actually be able with dominate and aspects, like possess the guy and like
Yeah.
translate what's going on.
Yeah. It wouldn't be pleasant for you, but I don't think it matters if it's pleasant for you or
It
not.
would be a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jack will sit down in a chair and do some possession.
Okay.
Which I have to find the rules for.
Well, the guy's willpower is 1, so...
Yeah, that is also true. Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
So he rolls willpower and I roll charisma intimidation. Difficulty 7 for both of us.
Well, let's see if he gets a
Well,
success
5
then.
for me because my intimidation is lowered by 2.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, God, he got a 7.
And I get to roll 5
Which
dice
is-
at the difficulty 5.
Fail this and make me laugh. Okay.
No, 4 successes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the possession basically takes no effort. So Aiden, basically what you see is Jack sits. He looks to the teenager whose chest is basically struggling with every breath. The kid looks to Jack, and there's sort of this glance, like this glossy look he gets in his eyes for a moment. Jack, you are possessing the patient.
Yeah, I'll try to telepathically communicate with Aiden.
Aiden, you feel a slight pressure in the back of your mind. Do you resist?
I'll allow it for now.
Mm-hmm. You begin feeling this creeping stream of thoughts. And it almost makes you a little dizzy, Aiden. Jack, how much are you showing?
I'll show enough to like open up the perspective. Like just slightly pushing.
So, not the entire thing.
Suffering is relevant-ish, but I just like show how it feels to be dying actively.
So, Aiden, as you almost feel yourself stumbling a bit, you take a seat in one of the chairs meant for family, and you begin to feel the experience this kid is going through. Every breath, he's essentially lifting this colossal weight on his chest. If he wanted to, he couldn't move his body. It's not like there's anything to do. He's barely there. His experience is very foggy. What he can feel is pain, and most of what he can't, he just experiences this extreme increase in the weight of his body. Everything takes more effort to move. He's hungry, but he couldn't stomach anything if he wanted to. He's thirsty, but there's not enough will left to drink. It basically feels like utter helplessness.
I think he does stagger back and uses the wall against his back to stabilize himself. Because this is all just a mountain of emotion and sensation that he thought he had left behind. Now it's hitting him like a train.
Jack, do you continue the stream of thoughts?
Yeah, but like careful, because I don't want him to frenzy.
Okay. Make me a quick wits and medicine, Jack. As for Aiden, you continue feeling this helplessness this kid is going through. You sense the sheer effort he has to put even to keep himself going. Whatever parts of him he can still feel, it's like this dull ache that is all consuming. His eyes are glossy. Can't really interpret the room the same way he once did. And you sense he starts thinking of where he came from. He thinks of losing his family to hunger last winter. He remembers starving in the streets, begging for money and getting little to nothing. He remembers starting to get these moments where he would fall asleep and not really understand what was happening. His life starts flashing in his mind, and it serves as a very welcome distraction from his current situation. What does this make you think?
It's a pitiful existence.
Jack, do
Jack
you
would
maintain?
telepathically, yeah, Jack would telepathically tell it is, but what's the culmination of the existence is also an inevitability, even for likes of us.
No one lives forever.
Yet, not being afraid of your own death puts it into more of a perspective.
Like this child, you don't have to be afraid of it to at least try to avoid it.
You don't, but why avoid inevitable when you can embrace it? He'll most likely be Raz. even if you're diablerized, part of your soul is joined to somebody else's soul.
You could even say sometimes that soul actually lives on and takes over too.
That can be an example of a diablerie result. And Jack will like fade into the background
Mm-hmm.
and keep the stream of basically dying consciousness
All right.
connected to Aiden's.
Aiden, you begin to feel the thoughts of this dying kid strengthen in your mind, almost as if you're seeing through his eyes. You feel each breath begin to cost you more, each heartbeat costing you more and more. You still feel this desire to keep going, this repeating thought of, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, not yet, just a little more.
What do they want so bad that keeps them wanting to live like that? What did they need to do?
Are you trying to find out?
Most likely.
Yeah.
That is good.
Unfortunately,
That's my boy.
Unfortunately, Jack is the one casting the power.
Yeah.
So
well,
Jack can
you
show
can-
you this if he wants to.
You can hear
Yeah.
him thinking that at least, you know?
Jack would show.
Yeah.
But
You
my assumption is it's most likely like just guilt. Going like, I could have done more than that.
you feel that Jack digs through the kid's mind. You begin seeing flashes of times while his family was still alive. Times where he wasn't homeless. Times where he wasn't even in this country. Memories of friends back home. Memories of a specific friend he had a crush on. And as you see these memories, you begin seeing again through his eyes that the room starts fading. Everything starts slipping away.
Is he dying? I ask Jack.
Yes.
Aiden, make a courage roll, please. Remember that due to your path rating,
I had
courage
3
is
dice.
yes, courage is limited to your path rating.
Basic difficulty.
Roll and I will tell you if you pass or not.
Okay.
Okay. You You feel this instinct to run away from it. And yet, you persist. You begin to see the world around you fading. The pain slowly goes away. The weight of the body ceases to be weight and becomes numbness. Your eyes search for any sign of light, and all you can see is this very bright dot in the ceiling where once you saw just the light in the room. And as that dot decreases in size, as your mouth no longer feels dry, your chest no longer hurts, your heart no longer tires, you feel yourself slipping away. Until you just find yourself leaning against the wall and gasping for a breath you didn't actually need, as the connection's broken.
I think he actually might have a few bloody tears leaving streaks down his cheeks as well. Even if he doesn't understand why.
Jack will eventually stand up. You see, one thing is not caring about the death. The other is seeing it from the inside. And knowing that this time there is no embrace. That this is... Well, you wouldn't know that it is your next step. But it would have been so much easier if you knew, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So yeah. Don't fear the Reaper. But do not go gentle into that good night.
Poetry now, is it?
Seems fitting. Need to drive? Or you'd prefer to go contemplate your life? Or something else?
Why do I need to contemplate it when I can remember every moment as if I was there?
Oh. You get some more perspective. Might as well use it. But still, the offer of a ride stands.
So we study them as they die.
We do. They not always die because of natural causes. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. But it is. It is not as bad once you know that that is not the end.
No.
Aiden,
But it is an end.
More like a step.
One end is another beginning.
Aiden,
You were saying, Miguel.
given what you've just witnessed, what is your takeaway from the experience? If you had to reduce it to a single sentence.
I can watch them die as I live on for a very long time, and then I'll finally get to experience it myself.
It's a step. As this conclusion rings in your mind, we will be taking a short break, about 15 minutes, and we will return very soon. Good night.
Da-dang.
Welcome back. We join Iris in a warehouse a bit away from the more populated parts of the city. Iris stands in front of a table in this makeshift soundproof room within the warehouse.
With excellent lighting, by the way.
Mm-hmm. What is
Surgical
Iris?
light.
As Iris moves her hands, what is she working?
Well, for like straight up after like getting here, before she even received like any message of her like guests wanting an audience, she had been since her schlachters that she previously made, the hounds and the they had some biological flaws, which required constant resupply with blood, just for their bodies, like to properly work. Given her newest development was vicissitude, which allows her to make very fine adjustments and change, she would have basically have her, Schlachter be like most of them like somewhere in the sewers, and I don't know how long it takes on one Schlachter, but essentially she has her hands on a Schlachter and one can see underneath her, like on her palms, some traces of blood, and she's concentrating and something is happening.
Okay. So as Iris focuses and the Schlachter seems to remain still sometimes eyeing with curiosity, mostly trying to stay as still as possible. Iris hears a knock at the door.
By the way, is Olivia here? Like, I would have to let her know.
Olivia's
that,
always
like,
around.
I basically, like, look, like, with the, like, exasperated roll with my eyes to Olivia, as in, fine, let's get the show going, and I just, like, nod to her.
Mm-hmm.
And mentally, I just, like, also, like, just quickly, like, send her a telepathic, like, SMS. Hey, how's my impression of our first meeting?
Olivia looks to you, rolls her eyes, and opens the door.
Iris, like, remains with her back to the door. She is
Mhm.
working on a Schlachter.
Olivia seems to look out the door, then looks to the room. Fine. We can do this in groups. First 5. And Olivia steps to the side. And in walks an incredibly well-dressed gentleman. Wearing a long black coat with very intricate decorations on it. He has...
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that the surgery room does have some, like, like UV lights in a corner, and there's some plants. Essentially, because this is still within Iris's, like, like, domain range, that basically, even if she's facing with the back, that is something that she can, like,
Mhm.
switch briefly attention to. So even though she's turned with her back to whoever's coming in,
She knows.
she sees them.
Yeah. But yeah, the first man that enters is incredibly well dressed. He has a long black coat with very intricate details. He has long hair, a curled mustache, and like a small,
A goatee.
essentially a goatee, but not connecting at the edges. Seems to have more of
Mephisto.
a like very sharp looking facial hairstyle. And following him is the nun and 3 other religiously dressed people. As the man enters, he seems to take the center position with 2 of each of his entourage behind him. And he stands waiting to be allowed to speak.
Well, yes, this is not like essentially like Bructus Cecil meeting some ragtag Camarilla. But Iris is going to finish whatever she's currently doing on the Schlachter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she did want to fix up the decay, so to say. So after she telepathically instructs the Schlachter to sit and guard, and reaches basically to the side of the surgery table with where there's some surgical tissues.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning her hands. She very slowly, taking her time to very like precisely clean her hands. She turns around.
One moment. Renan, please mute. There we go. Apologies. Proceed.
She very like turns around, looks at each of them, as she's like very like thoroughly cleaning and sanitizing her hands. Finally, she throws it out and like, I'm glad that you arrived in a timely manner. It's good to see you, my fellow brothers and sisters in Cain.
The man in the front takes a deep bow and signals for the others to do the same. And as his head is still down in a show of respect, he speaks. Your Excellency, it is my utmost pleasure to announce the arrival of military reinforcements to your domain. My name is Ramon. I am originally a Priscus from Barcelona.
Please straighten yourself. After all, Sabbat is all about a more, while we do have our ranks, after all, we're all brothers and sisters in Cain. Otherwise, one might think that we are like the Camarilla.
The man straightens his posture, adjusts his coat, and says, "Of course, but a show of respect is never unappreciated, I assume."
Of course, but no need to entertain the type of grovellings that is common in Camarilla courts.
You may call it...
I very much like the more direct and agile communication style in Sabbat. Gets things done.
Of course. You may call it groveling. I prefer to refer to it as courtesy between colleagues.
Of course, Priscus, Ramon.
As I said, I am originally a Priscus from Barcelona. A lot of these are some of my closest packmates, all from the clan of Shadows, of course. And we have come into this territory, and recently we have bolstered the ranks of our pack, specifically in preparation to give you military reinforcements for the war to come. No doubt the tower will attempt to take this territory back, and the Anarchs do enjoy a spot of chaos.
Well, I'm sure the Anarchs, after seeing my personal level of ability for destruction, are going to keep away. Or join, since their sect is not that good at taking down Camarilla elders. But naturally, by the way, I do have to say that it's rather pleasant to see other Cainites from the old world here. Refreshing. But,
Old
yes,
world is an apt way of referring to where I'm from.
Well, I mean, I know that my enemies have constantly hung my past name over my head as a Damocles sword. But given the fact that there are plenty of neonates and Ancilla who would do better with the blood of those unworthy of it. And since the best defense is an attack, I'm actually quite surprised the Archons have been rather quiet as of late. I would have assumed that my name on the red list would have definitely attracted them. Or perhaps I'm considered a bit too big of a bird to bite.
Well, it might have something to do with diversions we've been causing. On our way here,
Oh,
we
tell me more.
decided
Tell me more.
to. On our way here, we decided to
Um,
cause some.
by the way, Iris, just a second. While he's talking, Iris basically extends her tail from beneath her like skirt, and like so to say, like sits down in a languid position, leaning on the surgery table, with the Schlachter basically hovering about behind her. And I assume Olivia is somewhere like next to me.
Olivia's at the door
Ah,
because there are others outside.
okay, fair enough.
Um,
Do tell.
on our way here, we passed by downtown. In an effort to divert the attention of the tower, we caused some mischief on the western side of the territory, so if there are Archons present, I assure you they are making sure that side of the city is thoroughly secured,
Oh,
especially since they, completely unrelated to us, I promise you, have recently felt the loss of a primogen.
which primogen?
The primogen of the Toreador clan.
Huh. What was that? Never bothered to learn the name. Well, that is quite good news. Especially since the primogen can be quite annoying. But, I do have to say, my goal is actually to attract the Archon attention. I've been myself, my pack, we've been quite successful in hunting quite a few of them. And from what I've heard about those who end up on the red list, sometimes they get removed from there because it costs too many Archons. And since the Camarilla had been encroaching on the Archbishop Victoria's domain, given the strength of some of those who are within his domain, my revelation of the name is bait.
I see.
This is meant to be a death trap.
Well, we are more than willing to help you form the jaws of that death trap if need be.
Of course.
On
Most
that,
Archons, of course, won't really grant me any more closeness to Cain, from what I've noticed. So that's why I wanted to bolster the ranks of those within this domain. Take care of the enemies and strengthen the soldiers of Sabbat, of course.
those
You're always free.
those deserving of such strength, of course. We need to foster our most zealous warriors. Speaking of which, I feel it is prudent to inform you. And he raises his hand, like so, and so do the four Lasombra behind him. And as they do, all of their hands become pitch black.
Ah. I was not aware that the Black Hand delegation was indeed the La Sombra who took residence in a church here.
Out of respect, we wished to condense our introduction to a single meeting. It seems we caused you some matter of discomfort from doing so, and for that we have our deepest apologies.
Well, I was, how to say, As the Archbishop, leaders, after all, serve those that they're responsible for, in a way. And obviously, if I believe I see some distress in some of my most loyal allies, even those with whom we don't really see face to face about ethics or even religion, but, you know, I might have had a bit of initial prejudice, suspicion. But all forgiven.
Our deepest thanks. And as mentioned, we are here to devote our full support to your military might.
Oh, all right. Last time I had a visit from a Blackhead member, it was a Malkavian. Rather,
A Malkavian.
yeah.
In Los Angeles.
Just a second.
If you are
Have a
checking,
look.
you are saying
No.
something very accurate to the events that you have experienced.
No. That's not what I'm planning to do, okay? Can you,
Okay.
like...
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use Mask of a Thousand Faces to basically take that face on. And I have Vanish now, so I can basically do it in...
In front of people, yeah.
Yes, so... Oh, what was it? Wait, actually... What would it cost me to use Fluid Flesh? Because that one is, like, less finicky.
Well,
To do that?
fluid... I'll tell you this. For Mask of a Thousand Faces, since this is more of a story thing, I'll allow you to just auto-succeed.
Alright. Then basically Iris just like does a wave of her face and she appears as that Malkavian.
Ramon basically looks from side to side and says, huh. He leans over to the nun and whispers something. You can clearly hear it due to Auspex. He basically says, spread the word. We have another pretender on our hands. And then looks to you and says, I'm afraid you have been misguided.
Misled. Wait, do I remember, did his hand look like the thing, or did he have a moon?
He showed the tattoo of a hand.
Yeah, Iris basically had that. Let's just say our pack at that time was finding ways to fix our deceased, fix some issues that our deceased doctors had. The pretender broke into our house. I mean, he was, though I will say that he definitely was a Malkavian, and low generation enough that he was able to do some things not available at level 5, at basic powers. I even had a vision, and I thought that it was like maybe connected to him, and I was quite vexed if that was the person who had showed his face today. But I'm glad that it wasn't. But if you find that pretender, may I have first dibs?
Well, of course.
He did violate the sanctity of our haven and enact upon my deceased mentor powers that he hadn't expected I would be able to nullify.
Of course.
I
We
have
will be
a
sure to deliver
favor
him
to
to you
return.
alive.
And blood of my clan to reclaim.
Of course.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I could summon him.
Well, yes, I suppose. Would you like to do so while we stand guard and the rest of our entourage introduces themselves?
I'll first do some divination. And then, you never know where they might be hanging out.
Of course. On a side note, I believe it would be wise to keep the fact, well, to keep the nature of our status as members of the Black Hand a secret from the rest of our entourage.
Of course, Secret Service cannot act effectively if they're not so secret.
It is only the 5 of us. We have embraced some, but they are yet to be aware of this.
I see. So there's quite a lot of La Sombra settling here.
We have bolstered your strength, indeed.
I know. Just, I know, the La Sombra are very deeply entwined with the Catholic Church. Just make sure to keep your church symbols away from the forest and spread too much. You can spread everywhere else. I don't care there.
Yeah, he gives a deep bow with a nod.
I'm sure, like Baron Abrams has nothing to say if the Catholics were to take over.
With all
Lord knows they need some faith in Hollywood.
With all due respect to this domain of yours for uttering such crude words, but one day we hope to bring you Abrams's head. And I won't specify which one. Regardless.
I would rather not see his other heads. The one that contains the eyes.
We will be on our way. The others can introduce themselves. Do not be kind to them. They don't deserve that just yet.
But sorry, I did catch your name, but what about the other 4?
They are referred to as the Nameless, specifically because I have stripped them of their identities. They serve as my hands.
Huh. That's quite transhumanist. Holding on to past identities is rather
antiquated.
Well, just even antiquated. Well, I suppose antiquated would be a nice way to say.
He bows.
I forgot the better suitable term. Outdated. No, don't remember. By the way, Miguel, what's that word when you say like something is like horribly outdated?
Horribly outdated?
No. You know, like when it's like, yeah, basically, I don't remember. No, not antiquated. There's like a worse word for that. But yeah, it slipped my mind, and it slipped Iris's mind because
It's fine. Ramon seems
You're
to.
a spicy bishop, archbishop.
Ramon basically politely waits until you're done.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, like, eventually, I'm just like, very well. By the way, generally, the Black Hand does not. Well, there's certainly like missions that the Black Hand has. And given the fact that you came from the old world, recently heard of a horrible attack on Madrid by the tower.
One of our
Are you perhaps?
escapees has recently been spotted in Los Angeles. I am aware.
Yes, yes, we are already aware of that.
We will make an effort to dispose of her.
Well, are there any ways that I can assist the Black Hand's mission within my domain?
Simply allowing us to do our business within your domain will assist us plenty.
Of course. I do have to give you a heads up. Keep an eye out, because there's some very high, some hunters with quite advanced technology lurking about.
We have done our homework.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Their cyber trucks explode really well from the inside.
Noted.
Either way, I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon. And I know you're the Black Hand and all, but don't bully my soldiers too much. And probably also don't visit the forest without invitation. You won't like intruding on someone's haven.
Of course. If we may take our leave.
Of course.
And with one last bow, he leads his 4 followers out the door. And Cecil begins to allow groups and groups and groups into the room to make their introductions 5 by 5. And you count a total
How
of
many in
20
total?
other La Sombra coming in.
20 other La Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
Can't this domain even support that many?
Yeah. It'll be strained, but yeah.
Right.
If everyone keeps to their corners.
I'm definitely making a mental note that I'm going to the hack and I'm just like, hey, you and your girls need some fledglings to embrace? Make a pack. We got Catholic guests.
Yeah. And something you are notified is that out of those 20, about 7 of them are not yet true Sabbat. They are being currently tested to become true Sabbat. They are very recent embraces.
Is there, their masters are well, okay, fine. I'll, consult with Olivia later. I basically, see that they're basically, well-trained, house-trained.
Seem to be.
And what I do tell them, I have some, areas in Santa Monica, on the edge, right? Away from, not where the forest is and the hag is, right?
You can
But they have,
ping the general area.
Yeah, basically, I just need to zoom out. So, I'd assume that basically, this is where Santa Monica Pier is, right? The brightest
Santa
thing,
Monica
right?
Pier is where the red dot is.
Okay, so like asylum is
So
somewhere here.
if I move it away, you can see that's the pier.
Yeah. So essentially, asylum is here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here is the hag, right? Here are like.
Hag is here.
Mm-hmm. Um. So essentially, basically, I do have like some areas, right?
Okay.
Actually, since there's so many of them and these areas are not yet taken, I basically just like, like look at the amounts and I'm just like, Olivia. Once like they're all in and out, I'm like, Olivia, is Priscus Roman far away?
Repeat the question, please.
Is Priscus Roman far away? Can you fetch him for me, please? Since there's so many, you might as well as use the opportunity.
Olivia takes a step outside of the room, and you feel like you hear this breeze picking up. And soon after, Olivia steps back in, and Ramon steps inside once more and gives a bow.
I'm sorry to have summoned you back, but seeing the many troops you've provided, and the very vast areas between Santa Monica domain, downtown, and Hollywood, the unclaimed areas, why not kill two birds with one stone? You get to test battlefield your new soldiers, and we get to increase the areas that the Sabbat controls. And basically, Iris pulls out the Santa Monica map and basically starts like showing to him, like the areas that are under no one's control.
Mm-hmm. We'll make a note after the session of which areas you want to take
But it's
control of.
like basically see these like
You can
these,
you can
empty
tell
bits.
me afterwards.
What do you say, Priscus Raman? Does it seem reasonable?
Is that a demand, Your Excellency?
No, I mean, you definitely have your own, missions and whatever your leaders and the region expect from you. But seeing all these soldiers who are not yet of your variety, thus they're true Sabbat, some of them false Sabbat.
Well, I will put it bluntly. If you give us the order, that territory is yours.
Iris basically quickly telepathically pings Olivia. Can I do that?
You receive the thoughts of Olivia, and it's just like, you can, but careful what you wish for.
Can I quickly draw a card? I have them
Sure.
available.
Oh, you start shuffling cards, and Ramon seems
No,
very
I
interested.
don't even I don't shuffle. I have the card. The cards will buy back. I basically just do this
You
run
Yu-Gi-Oh!
over
The
and
fucking card.
yeah, hearts of cards and all that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
Mm-mm.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh!
I don't know. To use the full power.
Oh my god! So
Also,
that's
what's my
to draw?
difficulty? That's to draw.
Yeah, go on with
That's
the...
Miguel -2.
Oh my god.
If the difficulty wasn't 3.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is my casual thing.
Yeah, so that's to draw. Roll to interpret.
1, 2, 3, 4, 3 successes. I should be able to say that this was not like.
Yeah, so you draw a card, and the card you draw
By the
basically
way,
the.
may I ask
Hmm?
something? Given that like I've developed like like perceiving like with my blood form, right? And I can like transform a part of my body into blood form. After I draw the card, can I basically just like like not taking my hand out of my pocket, just like
Like, see
partially
what the card
transform a.
is.
Yeah, without like basically taking it out.
What are you using to do that?
Blood form?
Blood form.
Because that allows me perception. Especially with my newest power.
Well, your newest power allows you to perceive very microbial level stuff. You'd need to basically cover the card in blood to do that, which might get messy.
Yeah, I have my hand.
Yeah, it might get messy though, because you're gonna get the card
It's
covered
okay.
in blood, and it's
They're
paper.
like laminated. They're laminated.
Okay, I mean, sure. You can only do that so much with your deck though, and this is your favorite deck.
Yeah,
If you do it too much, you're gonna start damaging cards, but I'll allow it.
Okay.
So you feel that you drew the Fool, which doesn't really have anything to do here with this situation. So you just you understand that you tried to draw something, and it's not allowing you to know. And you get the feeling that if you do this again at some point tonight, there's something on the other side stopping you from getting that knowledge now. It's like you offended whatever you usually get these predictions from. Your draw was a botch. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. But basically, I was like, I'll have to consult the stars first. What are the best, most successful areas? I mean, you're free, obviously, to serve as blood as you wish, but if I do see that it would be the best was a sword, you would be willing to provide aid given the plentiful foods on the ground.
I will state it again. If you give the order, that territory will absolutely be yours.
Of course.
Until the decision is made, if you wish to find us, I keep my hands at the church with one of the La Sombra you have in the city. I believe you are familiar with him.
Of course.
And if you wish to find me specifically, I can provide you a contact of mine. Of course, one moment. And he goes to the door, and you hear him whistle.
Iris was just like, like, if I want to, like, thinking to herself, if I want to find him, I have a fucking pendant.
And after a moment, after he puts his hand out, he makes his way back in, and he has a little bird perched on his finger. He gives it a little rub on the head, and then offers it to you.
Do I need to feed it?
Well, it would be preferable not to let it die.
Well, I'm sure I'll be able to contact you if I need to.
Without the bird?
Without the bird.
Of course.
I would rather not see your bird perish.
He leans over to the bird and seems to say something, and the bird flies off.
What did he say?
You couldn't understand it.
Okay, Proof's probably chirping. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm sorry, just like, I'm not really used to keeping pets that I have to feed. I once forgot to feed an immortal might have possessed some information. So, I'd rather not accidentally forget to look after your bird. My pets are rather self-sufficient.
Of course. Is there anything else I may help you with?
No, no. I'll get in contact if needed. But very lovely to see so many La Zombra. I mean, given now all we need is many, many Zimi seeing this. And then the founder clans of the Sabbat will be very well represented in this domain.
I'm sure this can be arranged. Your Excellency. And he walks out, and all of the La Sombra go with him. As Olivia closes the door, you see Olivia focusing for a moment, listening in. And after a moment, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into?
I have no idea, but there's like 20 La Zombra in my domain, and the reason why I wanted to
25.
put them the reason I wanted to put them over there is because the Cam and probably Abrams are not going to be particularly, pleased with the development. They're
A bit of background knowledge. Ramon Carrasco is his name. He used to be a Priscus back when I was embraced. He was already a Priscus when I was embraced. Met him a total of one time on the battlefield, and it was the day we got the victory in Barcelona. The day we took over the domain.
And Iris approaches. I'm sure it must have been pretty impressive, especially since you were just embraced, but you do remember.
It's not just impressive. That's not the point. The point is, if I know anything about him, he's not here just to help.
Go on. I have, unless I divine or pry and so on, I really dislike social cues, and it very much exhausts me. I don't understand people who cannot come and directly say that, or at least try and imply whatever.
Well, that's gonna be the case with everything he says. Even to me.
Oh, excellent. Just what I needed. Fucking camp politics here right now.
It's worse than camp politics. In Camarilla politics, you can measure at least how much people around you trust you. You're not gonna get any of that with him. And I don't know why he's here. I would wager that unless he was sent here, he came here because he wants something.
I see.
It's possible he was sent after Jack's sire, but I doubt it.
Well, is there anyone in the Black Hound we can ask about this?
Doubt it.
Hint, hint. Hint, hint, Jelana Jav.
I
this
doubt
is
it.
Why?
You know how I told you it's really hard to read him?
Mm-hmm.
If it was just from mundane means, I would quite easily be able to read his mind, or something. I don't know how, but it is borderline impossible to get anything out of the man.
Well, I guess then, not tonight, but another night, I'm going to be once again using the one tool that allowed me to stay afloat in the tower as a prince. And that is ask the stars and the
I'll,
fates.
I'll trust your judgment.
I mean, how do you think I've got around without, like weaseling all those things out of people?
Yeah. Regardless, I think you did have some plans with Jasper later tonight.
Yes,
You should go
actually,
attend to those.
yes. It actually, just to run by you, it actually, even when I was first expecting just 5 of them, um, I was considering, the hag and her childer. She certainly seemed to enjoy the festivities, and she came to them as she did. Being a pagan, I'm sure she'd hate for the Catholics to take over. Rather uncouth affair,
They're rather
usually.
good at it.
Well, what I'm saying is that I'm considering of asking her, at least her childer, to start forming pacts. Perhaps make a death trial with some different clans and so on. And I'm sure I'd have to provide some fledglings or ask somebody to do that, since her childer will most likely. Well, actually, I don't know. But we'll see. Either way, I was thinking of basically offering her opportunity to grow her power base, thus my power base, through her childer. I'm sure they would be excellent as pack priests given their proclivities.
Would you like me to send the message?
I still needed to see her, so I'm going to send a message through the trees.
Okay. And in the
Well,
meantime,
actually, to be fair, maybe uh, you could probably do that same thing I can do through the wind. So maybe give her a heads up that there's some business opportunities I'd like to offer her, and also something interesting to the north.
should I also reach out to some of the elders of my clan?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Because knowing what I know about clan politics, um, and I'm pretty sure that Malkavians have pretty much of around the same level of respect regardless of the sect, even though of the destruction we can rage. So, since the La Sombra are the heart of the Sabbat, I think the soul of the Sabbat is definitely needed here to balance it out. After all, who else can?
I'll get the word out. You should attend to the rest of your night.
Very well. And Iris goes up to Olivia, just leans over with the forehead. Can't believe you got you. I can't believe I'm doing this fucking stupid shit again.
It's the stupid shit we have to do for the rest of our lives. Get used to it.
Once we're powerful enough and there's less threats, you know what we're gonna do? We're going on a big fucking vacation, and anybody who knocks on our door is getting a steak.
You can always do what I did. Convince a young Camarilla bright-eyed vampire to do the politics for you. And
Listen,
Olivia,
no other Malkavian.
with a wink, Olivia just leaves.
Iris just sputters and just like that, like. Wait, did he say bride?
Bright-eyed.
I heard bride.
Of course he did. Yeah.
And Iris basically takes the phone and texts Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wanna? We had some questions to discuss with a hack, and I need to discuss with her some things as well too. So, you coming?
It takes a minute or two, but Jesper replies, I am slightly busy, but, well,
Want
we need to
to?
discuss
Do
things
you?
with
Iris
the hack.
basically. Iris basically texts him. Do you? Are you no longer in need of a spirit for the cathedral?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'll make time so we can go there.
Well, use your tree walk. I'm sure I taught you that. I don't know if you've learned it yet. Use your tree walk, and Iris basically says, and get to the Hags Haven Forest ASAP.
Very well. Meet you there.
And Iris, Iris sends the Schlachter back into the sewers, right? She's going to return to the lab later. And for now, she basically, after making sure she has no blood or anything, she takes her coat and starts walking out from the warehouse area until she reaches, an area where there's no humans, but there's a tree or something,
Mm-hmm.
so that she may step out right into the Hags Forest. Well, so that she's not visible from the street or stuff,
All right.
but not too deep.
Well,
Like, I'm not showing up in the middle of her witch circle.
yeah, I'll assume that you guys meet at the edge of the forest first.
Yep.
Okay, so with a step, Iris, you appear at the edge of the hag's domain. And it doesn't take long for you to hear footsteps nearby and see Jasper melding out of a tree.
Yeah, I'm glad you've learned this too. Lydia has already informed of my business with her. Let us slowly walk. If they feel the need to meet us, they'll meet us. But we have 25 La Sombra now in the domain.
25 new La Sombra.
5 of them are from the Black Hand. They embrace these guys. I don't know what to do with them. But either way, that is also the business that why I'm like, Olivia will look for some Dimitri clan elders to balance this La Zombrification out. And yes, that makes my discussion with him an offer to the hack quite time appropriate, so to say. And of course, we might as well use the opportunity to discuss that sink in the factory.
Indeed. At least for now, it's been kept quiet and hasn't moved as far as
Well,
I've seen.
here's the
But
thing. I'm not particularly fond of having a Zombra army, essentially. My doorstep.
Well, shouldn't you let Jack deal with it? It is his blood, after all.
It's a black hand. Alright? 5 of them. The other. Either way, I'll have to use my divination later to divine the purpose of their visit. But hopefully the heart of Sabbat can be balanced out by some soul of the Sabbat.
I see. I'll get faster with putting our new security system throughout the sewers.
Well, we have already a worse security system. But, you know, the La Sombra and their shadows?
Mm-hmm.
I just say. Well, either way, Iris basically trails off and just continues approaching the hag's witchy area.
Mm-hmm. As you progress through the forest, eventually you hear a branch snapping nearby. You turn in that direction
I mean,
and see one of the coven approach you. She seems to be even more tribal than the last time you saw her. All of her attire seems to be made from things you would find in the land.
is your. I've come to talk with your matriarch.
She looks you up and down, then turns her eyes towards Jasper and then to you.
We have recently discovered another interesting spirit, something, and given your matriarch's speciality and his need for a spirit that doesn't serve nature, so to say, we wanted to have her to see whether she would be able to let us know of anything. There's a corruption spreading into the land north of us. I saw something there, but both of us weren't able to discern what it is.
She seems to ponder for a bit, then begins to walk to the side slightly. And as she passes behind a tree, you see what comes out at the other side is a small fox, which looks to you and then turns deeper into the forest and begins running in.
We follow the fox.
Mm-hmm. After a few minutes of trailing through the woods, through what doesn't quite feel like a straight line, you end up reaching the same opening where you first meditated with the witch.
Mm-hmm.
She is at the center, now with the same small sapling you saw the first time, now grown to be about as tall as a person. And she seems to be sitting in front of it, swaying from side to side. And as the fox runs in, and you find yourself entering the clearing, the hag simply gestures to her side.
The fox or me?
Well, the hag gestures to her own side, presumably in reference to you, since the fox doesn't move.
Ah. Yeah, I approach. I greet you, matriarch of this forest.
What is the other one doing here?
Well, I am currently aiding him in some aspects of the spiritual part of nature. He's looking for a. We were looking for a spirit, a corrupted one, something that does not serve the world, but rather breaks it. Since whatever happens to the spirit would most likely cause its destruction. So we were looking for something that wouldn't disturb the natural order. Which, yeah, that's why he's here, because we might have found something, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what it was. It was different from the other spirits. But that was a source of corruption that the water spirits asked me to take care of.
Describe it.
I described basically the spirit in the factory and how it was able to perceive me in psychic astral form, and the weird guards and stuff.
Yep, as you explain, the expression on the hag's face grows more and more puzzling. Huh. She turns to Jasper and says, "You. Is there anything else you can tell me about this? Your perspective on it?"
From my studies, at least, I believe this would be what the werewolves call worm-serving spirit. One that causes destruction on anything and corruption upon anyone. Other than that, there is nothing too much that I can relate.
The hag straightens her back with a couple of crunching noises coming from her joints and proceeds to stand up. It's clear that she was sitting here for a very long time. I don't know two ways about it. It has to go.
Well, that's why we sought it out, because the spirit that Jasper needs will be destroyed in when its source is used, so we didn't want to really harm any spirits of nature or.
We wanted to use this corrupted one as a sacrifice.
Use it.
It would be destroyed and it would
No.
achieve.
You don't use it.
Jasper looks puzzled.
So
at
does
what you
Iris.
Whatever it is, it's contained now. And it's either destroyed or it stays contained. You sacrifice it. You sacrifice
Yeah.
it. Something might feed off of it for that sacrifice.
That is my concern, that it could have a more general effect on,
I'm not aware of whatever this is, but maybe the hounds to the west do. Though I doubt they will speak.
My point exactly. Well, then I suppose it's an problem that would need to look when our hands are a bit untied, but I had another reason to visit you here, matriarch. I was wondering if any of your coven, and you, through them, would be willing to consider expanding your influence, so to say. I seem to have received a number of unwelcome Catholic guests, 25 in total.
The hag sort of leans back, and you see her spit on the ground.
My point exactly.
Why not cast them away?
Well, there's a Black Hand, and
Your
the
point.
Code of Milan, the Black Hand, search the regions of Sabbat, and they usually perform very important missions, secret missions for the sword. Unless they violate the code. By the law, I cannot expunge them. Now, my partner is going to be...
I thought the point of this sect was freedom.
Yes, but as its leader, I am still... No. They're free to stay here as long as they serve the war against the Camarilla, Ancients, whatever else. And let's just say that before there was the code, the sword often resolved to petty infighting over territory and all that stuff. Either way, just kicking them out just because I don't like their quantity is not going to be good for me as the Archbishop.
You exert your rules as you wish. They may not have limitations
Yes,
when it comes to you, but let them know there are limitations when it comes to my forest. They are to stay
I
out.
did let them know. I did let them know quite sternly that if they value, that they do not show up within your domain because they would be unwelcome.
Not for
Given
long.
the opposing faith. But that I also let them know. But what I wanted to suggest to you, so that we have a bit more balance. The Zimita are often Khaldun and also practice the old traditions, but it will take some time for them to show up and other Khaldun. But you are here, and you could extend your influence, and your girls would be excellent pack priests to oppose that Catholic dogma that I don't like when it spreads too much in the sword. After all, our roots and traditions come from paganism, and they should be remembered.
So what's your
I,
suggestion?
well, you could embrace some younger fledglings for your girls to guide, or I could organize a death house trial with other fledglings that, like, let the best survive, horrifying trials, and whoever survives could basically become the pack under the control of your childer as pack priests and Duktai. They would be more
Embraces
than...
will require offerings. The same as last time.
Of course, not a problem. How many?
One per.
One and one offering and one mortal, right? Very well. So, would you consider having your childer lead some packs and teach them the old ways, so that the Catholics don't forget to whom the forest and the land belongs?
She looks to the fox. and deep into the tree line, at which point you notice there is another one of the girls basically watching from the shadows. You can only see her because there's this sort of reflective quality to her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hag turns to you and says, I believe they're ready to lead. But
Good.
I need a larger coven.
Not an issue for me.
If you
Not
bring
an
your
issue.
offerings, I can train more. And the coven can grow.
Of course. Of course. Of course, I'd have to give basically the laws that, you know, of the Code of Milan and the Voldery and all that the Sabbat follows. I can teach that to your girls. That way the Black Hand will have no way of doubting their ability. And also, in a way, that also cements your position within the domain, as they won't be able to doubt your contribution to the sword or claim anything like that. Since they, Last Umbra will find definitely like issues if like there's like, why you're not in a pack, where's the Waldry, and so on. And I'd rather not have all of this bother you. I'd rather have your girls leading and offsetting those Catholics and reminding them that the High Clans are not the only ones with power.
Yeah. Apply the code as you wish, but the coven is not bound by rules like this.
Just when you're, I just don't want your childer to get into any trouble when they're leading their pack, when they're expanding influence.
They won't.
Because as long as they follow the code and make sure that others follow, there's nothing others can do. They can certainly try to challenge them, but given your power and skills, I'm sure they're quite good warriors.
No such thing as a good warrior.
Only alive?
Do you have any other business?
No.
Then why bring this one along?
Well, it is his project. I'd rather not have. I have also other things to focus on, so. By the way, he has also learned the way of nature recently. Taken quite well to it. And respectful to the land and the forest.
Better be the case. Spreading the knowledge without care for the culture is grounds for this alliance to break.
Well, first he learned from me the other ways.
Right?
And he learned it within my lands, my initial forest. And I watch that he does not bind or otherwise dominate spirits, but rather learns how to entreat with them.
The hag almost instantly appears in front of you, Jasper, and sort of invading your personal space a little. And she examines your eyes. Go on, speak.
You're telling me? Or Jasper?
Jasper.
Well, I had a question. You mentioned that spirit was being contained. what is containing it and who contained it. That made me quite curious to know.
You described it in a facility, yes?
Indeed.
Well, it grows in power in that facility, I would assume. It has yet to reach out to other places in the city, correct?
Correct.
It has no reason to leave. Therefore, it's contained by its own desire.
I see.
So, how do we get rid of it then? Destroy it. The water spirits were rather adamant that it needs to leave.
If you wish to face it, be my guest. But I've seen enough destructive forces in the world that if I don't know what this one does, it's because I have not interacted with it yet, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Understood. Well,
Find a way to deal
I'll-
with it through indirect means would be my advice.
so if what happens if the factory is destroyed? Is it freed? Or if it's
I
no longer
wouldn't know.
functional? I see. Well then, I will send a message when the Death House trials, and you'll receive your offerings. Two? Would you like 2 new students again?
Oh, I do have my pupils. Let's do 4 this time.
4. Very well. And Iris is like, yes. Iris is mentally like,
If you could show me where you intend to get them.
well, the mortals or the offerings?
My future students.
Well, last time I've searched the web, and this research library onto the occult, for people already practicing or interested or like in folklore and the old ways.
The grounds they came from.
All right. Well, I'll definitely let you know.
Where
make a
did
note
you
of
get
that.
these?
I let her know where I got these. It was probably LA.
Well, it was LA, but do you show? Do you tell?
I showed on my phone.
Okay. So to be clear, because this does factor into one of my notes, and this
Yeah.
does have some effect. You are using your phone to show, not your folded map.
Well, to be fair, I guess the hack probably is not fond of tech or shit like that. She'd take out the map.
Okay. Small note.
What?
Roll me a perception and alertness to see if you can react beforehand.
Can I roll
One,
as well?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Okay.
Jasper, if you wish, you may.
I have 6 successes.
I know. Jasper can roll as well if he wants.
Yeah, no successes.
Okay. So, Iris, I'm gonna send you the image of what you see when you first unfold the map. And you catch this before you turn it towards the hag. This is what the inside of the map looks like.
I was just like, fucking Malkaf. What the fuck?
Malka wouldn't be the person responsible, but okay.
Who would be?
Who wouldn't be?
Well, roll
We are fucking easy to fuck over with.
roll a quick roll flat wits, because this is remembering something and connecting the dots.
Fucking Cain.
Nope.
As do I notice that at least Iris is
She
fumbling a
seems
little bit, like-
agitated, and thanks to that botch, Iris, you are convinced that this is probably Malkav.
As Jasper noticed that she's agitated, he looks to the hag.
Also, why would it be wits and not intelligence? Because Iris would be using not her wits, but rather like her
Sure,
pattern
let's do
matching.
intelligence. Go on.
One success.
Fine, I'll accept
Listen,
it.
like I had my cards already stolen.
I'll accept
From my-
it. I'll accept it.
Iris just like, Iris
You-
just like,
You remember that the last time you opened this map to show it to someone was near a noted trickster, Abel. And Abel is capable of performing some fun tricks, which he has used in the past.
when that like goes like clicks together, she's like, oh. like internally she's like, phew. Because the last time like she pulled out like some weird shit from her bag, it was because or like some stuff disappeared. It was because somebody pocketed her stuff from like her bag.
As Iris is still agitated by whatever is happening because Jasper does not know what it is exactly, Jasper looks to the hag and asks, out of curiosity, and also to give time for Iris to
Fix whatever the fuck is happening.
pose herself in front of the hag. He asks, is there by any chance, out of curiosity, a ritual that heals the land from the pollution of humans that have done, or slight destruction they can do?
There is something we can do. It won't heal the land. That is not our place in the natural order of things. You would have to reach out to the hounds for that. What we can do is make sure the land can heal itself in the coming decades. I do not know how to perform this, but there are ways of changing the land. I will research, and if I find a solution, I may send word, or just do it myself.
Jasper
Well-
gives a slight bow as he says, thank you for your generosity and your knowledge.
Iris basically unfolds the map and points to the areas from which she picked up the previous two. So that one, and she points to the relevant one, used to live here, and this one used to live here.
I'd like a student from the Savage Ones here, and she points to East LA.
Hmm.
And a student from the Outcasts from here. And she points to the south of downtown.
Mhm.
The other two I'll leave to your own luck,
Very well.
instinct, whatever you wish.
Very well. When they're found, I'll let you know. But we should be on our way. I'll let your girls know when. Do they wish to observe the Death House trials?
They will.
Very well. Then I'll send invitations when it's organized.
Be on your way then.
Do you have any clan preferences for the chosen in a Death House trial? Gangrel Malkavian, Bruja.
Let fate decide.
Very well. Well then, we'll be on our way, and Iris is basically going to. Since this is still within Santa Monica, or is it now within Griffith Park? This is within Griffith Park.
This is within Griffith Park. It's the same spot as
Yeah,
before.
basically.
In fact, it's outside of what you consider part of the Santa Monica domain.
Yeah, so basically, Iris is going to walk, like, past, like, the Griffith Park area, until she basically gets to the, like, edge of Santa Monica domain. And that's where she's going to basically step into a tree and, like, jump.
All right. And as Jasper and Iris tend to their own thing, we will now jump to Jack as he seems to be returning to one of his owned properties to deal with some business with his ghoul. Jack, as you go inside the building and expect to enter the address where your ghoul awaits you, you open the door to see him sitting quite nervously, and to the opposite of him, on the couch, sits a man who seems to have made himself comfortable, who you don't recognize, apart from the fact that he is definitely Cainite.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I see. Is this your master? He nods. Good. Jack, is it? It's good to finally meet you.
And you were...
He stands up. Ramon Carrasco, Priscus of Barcelona. And I am also the master of one of my silent hands you have met before. And as you fully open the door, you see his entourage of 4, including the nun.
It is nice to see you.
It is. He turns to your ghoul and says, offer us some privacy. Go buy yourself some cigarettes or something. And without question, he just bolts out of the room. Jack, we've heard some news.
There's been plenty, so if you don't mind elaborating.
Your lineage has been quite busy causing problems.
It happened, yes.
First things first. It is in well, coming from reliable sources, we have learned that you essentially led to the death of your sire's sire, Wayland.
Mm, I wouldn't put it that way.
Well, unfortunately, your word is not worth much right now. Given the fact that Wayland was seemingly fit to die, yet your sire survived, and as a result, defected. I understand you are the tip
See,
of a very flimsy branch.
I do understand that. But I offered Valen a proper way, the by the book way, and he didn't challenge me to monomacy. I didn't kill him, so the fact that he decided to attack me in Archbishop's office might have expedited the process, yet I didn't ask for it. I was quite ready for a monomacy.
Well, if that is true, then I'm sure you would be glad to demonstrate your loyalty to fellow shadows.
Issue the challenge then.
Though nothing of a challenge. We simply wish you to tell us some information and perhaps get something for the clan.
Depends on the information you seek. I might simply not know it.
We are aware that there are two La Sombra officially as part of this domain. You and one who calls himself Father Isaac.
Yes.
In truth, there's only one La Sombra, isn't there?
Would you specify?
Allow me to rephrase it. And his demeanor changes visibly. He becomes far less friendly and more direct. Why do you tolerate the presence of someone who converts with demons?
Well, as far as I know, he fights against them. Quite successfully, from what I've seen.
Why do you protect someone who's killed a fellow shadow?
Because
Unprovoked, might I add.
because from what I know, that is new information. And again, we do have even more institutionalized ways of dealing with that. Do we not? He might have made some mistakes, might have not. But there is Code of Milan, and there's the Court of Shadows. Both are meant to, stop us from being animals.
Allow me to then offer you the challenge, as you put it. Isaac needs to pay for his crime. That said, he need not die. He only needs to become loyal to us. Specifically to us. Ensure his loyalty, and the clan will consider you an ally.
I will see what can be done.
Careful, Jack. We don't deal well with failure.
I know.
And with a smile, Ramon and his followers melt into the shadows and vanish from the room.
Once I can reliably make sure there's no more La Sombras in my presence,
Mm-hmm.
I'll try what I wanted to also try for a bit. I'll try to telepathically connect to my heart that is black as under the fucking bed.
All right. Roll willpower.
Oh yeah. Permanent or temp?
Temp.
That is doable. Appelese.
Damn.
Oh,
Damn.
that's fucking filthy. I know my rights. I'm gonna call my lawyer just to chat with him.
This man just went full Karen on his own clan and talked to the manager.
Damn.
Wait, the clan has been changed once. We're gonna do it again. What we
Alright.
have now is fucking cringe.
So you close your eyes and simply focus. You feel this sense of absolute fucking emptiness. You open your eyes again, and the room you were standing in begins to darken and darken until you can't see anything apart from the faint light coming in from the windows. Whispers begin to echo from the walls until one voice rings out, clear as day. What do you want, Jack?
I wanted to see if that will.
If
If
what?
if that will work, like just what I did. And Maybe you'd need a chat. Your friend was Malkavian, you'd be sassy.
Just real quick, I think I'm getting a little echo from someone else.
Check. Might have been Amalia.
I believe it's from Aiden in the music. Yeah. Alright,
I'm muted.
okay.
Couldn't have been me.
That's probably Amalia.
Muted.
So, so you say that to the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You feel this cold grip in your chest, as if there's a literal hand clasping your lungs and beginning to squeeze. I'll ask one more time. What do you want?
I don't really need anything from you. I wanted to see if that will work. If I'm bothering, I should leave.
Don't waste my time, Jack. Oh, your mic didn't pick that up.
Wouldn't dream about it.
Yeah, and as you say that, and the shadows pull back, can you roll stamina for me, please?
Yeah. It'd be puny.
Proceeds to roll all tens.
It's a 9.
Okay. So you can take 2 bashing.
Yeah.
Halved, so 1.
Yeah.
As you feel this sort of almost this desire to cough and clear your lungs. And as you breathe, you can sense that your lungs are oddly cold, and every breath sort of feels like it's crackling a little.
Yeah. I'll take back the phone. Iris was messaging about Ramon. And I'll respond like, what's
You
the
can
info? Or I can call, yeah.
You're gonna call Aiden?
Iris.
Oh, Iris. Okay.
Just don't put me on camera right now. I'm
Oh,
already
okay.
out of makeup.
Sorry. So, you call Iris.
Yeah. Iris picks up. So you've got the pleasure of meeting her.
You can say so.
Do you know that he came here with 20 La Sombra?
That he didn't say.
Well, now you know. So what is...
And oh, they itsy bitsy tiny task. Just make Isaac loyal to them. He need not die because he apparently killed some stuffy
Right.
fucking La Sombra.
You told me about that conversation. Didn't Isaac say that that happened while he was in the Camarilla?
Yeah.
He was in the Camarilla.
Yeah. So he deflected back to us.
No.
technically,
He
probably.
was originally from the Camarilla.
Yes.
He defected to the Sabbat,
Yes.
As far as I know, he
He's true Sabbat,
no,
I believe.
no, not that. As far as I know, he defected specifically because his sire was a demon worshipping monster, and he took offense to that, or something along the lines. Either way, how can one demand payment for what about that other La Sombra who Isaac accidentally killed? Were they also part of the Camarilla?
Do I know that? I believe I would.
I would need specification. Which one do you mean?
That La Sombra who Isaac killed accidentally
Mhm.
during his investigation.
I believe I mentioned it last time, but Jack wouldn't have forgotten, so I'll just tell you. That La Sombra was a prominent member of the Sabbat infiltrating the Camarilla at the time.
So, my question is, Isaac was not part of the Sabbat.
Mm-hmm.
He killed an infiltrator out of mistake while he still was in the enemy sect.
Yes.
For all he knew, he killed another Camarilla member.
Who was allegedly a demon worshipper.
Exactly. Now, yes, it turned out to be a prominent Sabbat member, but Isaac killed, for all his knowledge, a Camarilla demon worshipper, and then he defected to the Sabbat. As far as I know, he was on the enemy side. He came to this side, and he served the sword loyally and faithfully.
Yes.
How can you hold him accountable for something that any who has ever defected, and your clan does like to do that, for anyone who has defected from before, gained the true Sabbat title officially, how can you hold them accountable for what they considered fair warfare, especially if it was somebody within the tower for all they knew?
Nobody said Prescott can't be full of shit.
Also, this was something that I personally found interesting, since Lucita is was quite the talk of the
Yeah,
century.
she kind of did
As far as
more
I
than
know,
Isaac.
as far as I know, she killed her own sire, and yet later she not only earned forgiveness, but also
She became archbishop.
is now the archbishop. Like, she became true Sabbath, and whatever was in the past was in the past.
So makes her the minority in the clan.
Well,
Jack,
not that, but
make a quick int in politics, please.
That I
can
can
I
do.
make a roll?
Unfortunately, this is something that's specific to Jack and
That is
his
La
knowledge
Sombra
of
knowledge.
La Sombra shit.
Dos.
So, the way the Amici Noctis works, it's not common, but it's when you make yourself a legend within that group, it's not because you did something good for the sect particularly. It's because you established yourself by yourself, with no help of anyone else. It's very much a self-made thing when that happens. There are certain types of reputation that you can build up. If Ramon is this invested in this particular event, odds are it's not because the clan has much to do with it, or the event itself has much to do with it. In fact, by all means, he should not care about this, and yet he seems to.
I believe it is rather personal for him.
Personal.
Yes. Clan forgave more.
Louder.
Clan forgave more. Killing accidentally a La Sombra is nothing. You killed Mac.
I mean, I guess with your Darwinism, if you died, you're a
You bitch.
loser.
Yeah, you're a bitch.
Which means, given the fact that even by the code and your own standards, this is bullshit. I
Pretty much.
think you should take up the fun role of a lawyer in a court of shadows.
Advocatus Diaboli, as it was.
Huh?
Advocatus Diaboli, as it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, not like we don't have anyone not incapable of slaying Isaac if he is corrupted and whatever. We have plenty of eyes keeping on him, right? He's not the only demon slayer in town, but that whole shtick? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ramon is pulling very much clan bullshit. Even though he's supposed to be neutral given the fact that he's in a black hand. That pretty much actually is very much against black hand, codex, which actually requires both them and the Sabbat Inquisition to remain neutral in any Sabbat politics, whether they're clan-based or party-based.
Yeah.
And he's also not really like doing things by damage, not just. Tell me, have any of your La Sombra ever gained a reputation by being an amazing lawyer who uses the word of law?
That is a way.
I mean, well, either way, it's something that I guess you should consider.
I actually might.
Since I do believe that perhaps the Court of Shadows will be the more likely to, if he's pulling clan stuff, let the clan sort him out.
Oh, I
Maybe-
offered him that. If he's so angry at Isaac, he should have gone with that.
Well, maybe you should do it. Because I guess he's not willing to go against my order of treating Isaac respectfully. Because I did say that very strictly.
Yeah.
So he's using you. Well then, maybe chat with Lucica about her court case. I do believe that this is something that I can perhaps advise you on, Olivia can and others, but best you do it, best you achieve it before you plan on your own. And not have me pull up the Code of Milan and be like, what the fuck are you here like trying to pull, okay? The Sabbat is loyal to the Sabbat, but not a clan, because that would be like mommy stepping in. So go
I
be
know.
the devil's advocate.
Well then,
Just get
let's
all the
pray
laws.
there might be in a little library some book on the Sombra
Oh,
laws.
well, definitely. Check it out. Don't forget the laws of Sabbat and so on. After all, you die, you're a loser, isn't it? And if that prominent Sabbat member died because of a neonate,
He's a bitch.
he's a bitch.
All right.
Right then, I'll leave you to the reading. I'm
Okay.
currently. I will be. I need to organize a death house since I'm planning to give the witches
Hmm.
some more. Some packs. You know, to offset the castle extent of my forest lands.
Yeah.
No offense to you, but
Oh no! Fuck that shit.
excellent. Either way, Olivia will be inviting some Dzimidzi to like balance out the heart of the Sabbat with some soul.
We need more
Could provide
Malkavians.
enough distraction for you to prepare your case.
We need more Malkavians too.
Hmm?
We need more Malkavians.
I'm too. My fledglings will be too powerful and too tasty.
Invite more Malkavians.
I'll see. Either way, I have some schlachter to fix. So,
Have a nice evening then.
and Iris basically hangs up.
Yep.
Right, Jack. As you hang the phone and you ponder your next step, your phone buzzes. You seem to have received a text.
Let's see.
You pop it open. It's from Isaac.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
the text simply says, "We need to talk." And that is where we will end tonight's session.
All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back next week with the next episode. If you did enjoy, please subscribe to both our Twitch and our YouTube. Check YouTube because we have a backlog of previous episodes there if you want to catch up. And we'll see you next week for the next episode of Beyond Armageddon.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.